Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to be going into series number 3 now, heading all the way back to Aztec after a 6 series with Han and Dreamer. But this is a bit of a hype match here, man, because we got some Twitch celebrity in the next one.
Oh,
yeah.
Twitch celebrity.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be MrLlamaSC, the famous Diablo 2 speedrunner.
Llama, where's Future?
I know, right? Hashtag free Future. We're gonna be doing it. We're gonna do a tournament. Actually, me and Future are gonna put up a prize pool and get do just like a single bracket, like a individual tournament for fun, like next week or something. And I'm gonna tell Future just to be invite Mr. Llama personally. Dude, it'd be so fantastic.
That would be hilarious. And I see Mr. Future in the chat right now.
Mr.
You just call his name and he appears.
I know, dude. He's always watching. He's part of the Zerg Illuminati. But alrighty. So, game is up now. Nyoken, whenever you're ready, go hop in and we'll get into this game. But I don't know if you guys know this, but Mr. Future SC went a little ham on Mr. Llama the last time we casted together. But believe it or not, Llama loved it, dude. So, hashtag free Future.
Hashtag free Future.
Alrighty, man. Well, let's go ahead and get on into this. We're going to Aztec, Nyoken's very favorite map.
Totally my favorite. Is there a Terran? That'll make it even better.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, there is. At least he got the good spawn.
Alrighty, guys. Well, spawning on the left-hand side as the yellow Protoss player, we have the notorious MrLlamaSC.
And in the bottom right, we got NinaOb. Is it NinaOb or Ninju? It's one of those.
It's got to be NinaOb, right? Ninjube is...
I don't know.
It's a little lewd sounding. I'm not okay
Yeah.
with it. This is a family-friendly cast, okay? We don't say bad words.
I'm sorry.
We don't make lewd jokes, okay? 100% family-friendly.
Yes, I agree.
Alrighty. Well, how do you feel about this matchup on this map, my friend?
I already hate it. Hate it.
Okay, so ever the optimist, Nyoken. So Nyoken, tell me, why is Aztec just the most fantastic map for Terran in this matchup?
So every time I play this map, it's like Jade, but worse. So if you don't like Jade, insta-ban this map. You've got low ground spawn. That means it's going to be hard for you to get up a ramp. That's why you're going to see a lot of 12 gases on here. Get your tank out faster so you can get your command center pretty safe. Protosses will go 2-gate on here because of that. If you try to go gasless expand, it's going to be very difficult to just hold the bunker. They're going to have 6, 7, 8 Dragoons when you have 1 tank. So I'm hoping Ninjube goes for 12 gas here. That's one of the reasons I hate this map, but another reason is the third base you take as Terran, you want to take the mineral only. If you take the low ground with the gas, it's so hard to actually reinforce there.
Yeah, this ramp is pretty brutal, especially when you have, Protoss units barreling down your throat and you have to move your clunky mech army down that ramp.
Yeah, and if they have arbiters and as you're sending units down, you just get stasis on the ramp, well, now you're not getting down to defend that base. That base will just wipe.
Your 3 vultures just abandoned on the low ground, poking away.
So I like taking the mineral only, just kind of play it like Circuit Breaker, just expand horizontally to the left. But at the same time, if you expand horizontally to the left, he can instantly recall you, basically. It's just a really difficult map. On top of it, it's a 3-player map, and usually Protoss has map control for basically from the start of the game. That means they're going to get the other main, and even if it goes split map, I'm doing air quotes right now, you're flat out always going to be behind in bases versus Protoss.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. Aztec, it's a rough map. Honestly, I don't think it's the world's most imbalanced map, but it's definitely a rough map to be putting, especially lower level Terrans against their opponents on. If there was a map that I could get out of the CPL, this would definitely be it. Even if I like playing it because it's really broken for Zerg.
Yeah, pretty good map for Zerg, pretty good map for Protoss. And actually, Mr. Llama is showing some mercy in this game. We actually just have a standard opener. And that's basically what you want to see on this map. You don't want to see 2-gate. You don't want to see any shenanigans. You just want it to be as normal as possible because this map is really difficult to play on. You actually see a lot of harassment type plays, like drops, and then try to get a command center, like try and keep the pressure on Protoss, try and keep them back, don't let them go to 4 base off nothing, and then maybe if you get some damage done, you can follow up with 5 factor, something along those lines, some kind of deadly timing.
Yeah.
And Ninja, I think this might be an FD. Okay, never mind, we do have the bunker.
Alrighty. A Dragoon pickoff would be pretty nice, but a very quick response from MrLlamaSC, not even losing a single point of health. Not bad, not bad. But you're right, I do like drops on this map here. Let me reveal the map real quick, but there's like this little spot up here on this high ground. So your drops are going to be a lot more effective than they normally would be on a map where you can't do that. The natural is much more exposed in that regard.
Yeah, so if you're a Protoss and you like DTs, you could get punished pretty damn hard because your robotics is going to be so late, potentially just shut down your natural completely, or like actually possibly lose the Nexus. So I actually think, well, in general, Reaver is kind of, or Observer at least, is kind of just the standard for Protoss, but if you're a 2-base Arbiter guy, you may get punished if you try and play this map as Protoss.
What's up, Chessie? How's it going, man? Chessie in the chat. Just wanted to let you know real quick, guys. Chessie has terrible taste in pizza. Just an awful... Just really doesn't know anything. Doesn't know what he's talking about at all. So if you guys ever talk to him, don't bring it up. It's a sensitive subject. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And, you know, I'm going to make use of this platform.
Why is it that anybody that talks to you, like, nicely, you just, like, shut them down instantly? Like, you just want to... You trying to get everybody into like a best of 7 versus you?
Look, what I'm trying to do is create drama in the scene, but we don't really have a villain, right? So I gotta be that guy who just starts shit with people. I'm trying to motivate them to practice. You know what I mean? I'm actually a nice guy. I'm actually a nice dude. But I'm out here talking the shit, getting people so that they get all salty, so they get on their practice grind, man. I'm serious. I'm out here doing God's work, bro.
Oh. It's funny because Gypsy was actually talking about it. He's like, we need some show matches, grudge matches, like D5 versus Yaj or Sugo versus TT1.
That's what I'm saying. Ad Hawkish, thank you so much for the sub, my dude.
No, you said it wrong. It's not Ad Hawkish, it's Ad Hackish.
Ad Hackish, my bad. The infamous Black Sheep Waller.
But yeah, in this game, we've got Mr. Llama just playing pretty standard. We had Gate Expand into a fast 3rd base from him. Everything pretty just standard from him. I like his build. I also like NinaOb's build. We have a really fast armory. This is about a 530 armory. Pretty fast, and he's following it up with a couple factories. One thing that is weak when you do this version is you just have so few units that NinaOb needs to be on top of his macro, because if he's not, and Protoss does that flavor of the month build where we're seeing triple shuttle bombs, he can easily get busted just because he doesn't have any units really.
Yeah, the volume of units really ends up mattering. But so one thing that I do know about LlamaSC as a player, at least right now, he doesn't have the greatest build order knowledge. He typically relies on his fairly impressive mechanical skill to kind of compensate for that. Just a lot of macro, a lot of units coming out of this guy, but not the extremely well-timed timing attacks and things like that, because, again, he just doesn't have the build order knowledge yet. But it is a great opportunity for him, you know, being in the CPL, getting hooked up with a coach and having someone teach him the finer things when it comes to his build order and stuff like that could turn him into a really scary player going forward into the regular season here.
Yeah, we already talked about Nablime 2 weeks ago, or whenever I last casted, how he got coached a lot by Herbmon, and what did he go from, like tier 3 all the way up to tier 1?
Yeah.
Absolute monster. He was just beast moding in all the games I casted. So definitely CPL is a huge hit for these players. Can definitely increase your skill quite a bit, and Nablime's living proof of that.
Look at that. Even Ed Hawkish calling it out in the chat that he's
Ed
never gonna
Hawkish.
forget Carapace again. Ed Hawkish, what a great name, bro. I wish I was. One day I'm gonna get like a Gosu nickname. No one's gonna make fun of me anymore. Everyone will respect me.
Yeah.
I'll be like Gypsy. Everyone will respect
Oh,
me.
everybody respects Gypsy?
Kappa, Kappa.
I hope that's a joke.
Ah.
Nobody respects Gypsy. He's just some clown, some monkey that couldn't hack at his Zerg, so he switched to Terran.
Oh shit! Is that, dude? Are you kidding me? Is this what's going on? Are you trying to debate me into a race switch so you can make fun of me? Is that what's happening here?
No, I'm just messing with Gypsy.
Feels bad, man.
Where is Gypsy? Oh,
He's
there
in
he
the chat.
is in the chat.
He's in there.
I'm in the channel, idiots. What does that mean? Do I care? No. Oh my God. I want to point out, you were talking about Mr. Llama, maybe a little lacking in the builds, but I want to tell you about a game I saw yesterday about a player that definitely does not lack in the builds. Mr. Gypsy in the chat, the monkey that I just talked about, he got to play Rain, ASL winner Rain last night. Let me tell you what this guy did. Max out at 11 minutes. You would say, oh, well, he just maxed out on gateway units. No, he had an Arbiter and Stasis at 11 minutes. Are you kidding me? What happened, Gypsy? I can tell you what happened. He got absolutely crushed. It's so sick how Rain can macro like that. Oh my gosh, you should definitely watch Gypsy's VOD from yesterday. I don't know what the time was, but unreal.
That's actually disgusting. 11-minute max out with full tech tree. That's crazy.
Absolutely brutal, but we do have Mr. Llama coming in here onto this base, and this is what I'm talking about. Look, he blocked his own unit.
Yeah, with the siege tanks, and now his units can't get down here to help defend this.
This is what I'm talking about. It's so hard to rally down here, and even if they do get down, look at the how clumped it is right down here. He's even got a turret mixed in. It's not easy to get down this ramp. It looks easy, but once the game gets chaotic and you need stuff to go down instantly, it feels like forever when you see these units coming down one at a time.
Alright guys, well, we do have a question in the chat really quickly. What is CPL? Well, while we're in a little bit of a lull in the action here, the CPL is the Coach Pupil League. It's a league that is specifically made for improvement and beginners and people up into, like, I think 1800 is the soft cap for the MMR. So even people who are starting to get really quite good can play and get, you know, matched up with like a very high level A rank, S rank coach who can help you improve and learn the game. So if you're new to Brood War, or if you've been thinking about getting into it, or you've been playing for a little while but you want to see more improvement in your game, you can definitely check it out, guys. Really great way to get into the game, meet some practice partners, make some really awesome connections with some very high level players, and have them help you out with your game.
Yeah, it's always nice to have somebody not only just tell you what to do, but tell you why you're doing it. A lot of the things I'm sure players struggle with is if they watch Flash, like, oh, why did he do that? Well, I have no idea, because he's just Flash. He just does it. So with a coach, you can learn exactly what you need to do and why you're doing it, and that's very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Dragon's already helped me out with a lot of very small tweaks to my gameplay to help me out and figure out kind of like where the issues are that I'm having in versus one base Robo, which Sheep was pulling out against me. But yeah, so I got to play. I'm a T2 player. I got to play against a T1 person on my team, and then I had Dragon, who's one of the very best Protoss players in the foreign scene, an absolute macro god, who also happens to off-race a Zerg, give me all the tips on how to beat a Zerg player or a Protoss player, and it's been just super helpful. I mean, like, all that game knowledge and all that experience is like just getting fed that from a player, as opposed to like trying to read and find guides on the internet and stuff like that, is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and also really sick to have someone like Dragon, somebody that plays not just one race, where they can say like, okay, when you see this from the other race, you should do this, and he knows what he's talking about because he also plays that race. So that's really, really sick.
Could you imagine this happening though in the StarCraft 2 community? You just can't, right? Like these are like the absolute best foreigners in the game, donating their time to help people learn how to play. Like, I think that's so sick.
Yeah, it didn't exist when I played Brood War, so that's really a nice initiative, whoever came up with that. It can really help you out. And I want to point out in this game, NinjaOb has actually really hit his macro. We're almost maxed.
He's got the 2-1
at 1330. This is a really sick timing that NinjaOb has. And as I say that, I'm like, well, MrLlama's also maxed. But then I check out top left, we got 4 Stargates, but no carriers out. But that will catch Ninja off guard if MrLlama dominates this fight, which he might. But if it goes poorly, Ninja will be able to insta-counter and just probably wipe out all the bases from MrLlama.
But look at this fat arc that MrLlama is setting up. If there was a fight that was gonna go well, I mean, this is the way to set that up. Look at this huge arc.
Yeah, and even there's a couple mines mixed in here that he doesn't notice. If a Zealot got on top of one, and it would trigger on so many tanks right here.
Oh, but we do have a large portion of the army now moving down to that mineral-only base here. Oh, this is not going well for MrLlama.
Oh no, all the units are out of sync and they're kind of coming in.
We have a High Templar giving a kiss to this siege tank over here. Oh man, this is not what you want.
But check top left. We were just donating that army so we could get those carriers, but I actually don't like the carrier transition now because Ninja, he's already got 2-1 and we've got +3 going. And I'm sure these carriers have no upgrades, and 3-2 is just going to melt the carriers. Ninja's probably just going to A-move across the map here. There's nothing to stop him.
Yeah, even if 4 carriers kind of get out here, it's like, it's going to take them forever to kill all these tanks and vultures, and in the meantime, you're going to lose all your bases. I don't really know. This is very scary for MrLlama right now. I mean, he doesn't have the production to continue to produce an army to fight this, so carriers is his only option at this point. But, I mean, what do? You just lose, right?
And what's unfortunate for MrLlama is that he has all the Stargates at top left, and why it's unfortunate is because that's where Ninja is going, and it's likely he scanned these, so he knows they're there. I would have liked it if MrLlama put the Stargates maybe at the natural, because why on earth would I ever scan the natural? There's nothing important there. But yeah, MrLlama, I think that fight just went a little bit too poorly, and now Ninja just insta-counter. Look at the supplies now, 130 to 190. He's even breaking off a piece of his army to take out the mineral only. This is just exactly what you want to do as Terran.
4 carriers get out now, but there's only 1 pylon powering these Stargates right now. I kind of wish that would get blown up. I mean, there's no interceptors built yet.
Yeah, he definitely should have killed this Nexus and the pylon if he could, but to be honest, it doesn't matter. The mineral only's mined out. The Nat's gonna mine out pretty soon. The main's gonna mine out pretty soon. And then we're gonna be stuck on 1 base for Protoss. Even top right is getting killed by Ninja, so he's everywhere. And now we see the Goliath floods coming out. +3 is almost done. What do the carriers have? I can't even check their upgrades, but I'm sure they're +0.
I would really appreciate next time that Ninja don't attack this many bases at once, just because it's kind of annoying to have to obs all these attacks going on at the same place. It's really kind of inconsiderate when you think about it.
Yeah, inconsiderate. I like what Gypsy wrote in the chat, is Ninja smurfing. It feels like it.
I know. This is like a very, very, very well executed 2-1 timing push here.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say here. He's got carriers, but the Goliaths are out. He killed almost nothing of the Terran army. Carriers have good DPS, but can they out DPS all these tanks? No.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to crap all over MrLlama, because we already did that last cast, so I think we got that all out of our system. But MrLlama is a borderline tier 1, so he is on the lower end of tier 1, where Ninja looks like just an incredibly solid player, like a very, very powerful player here. So it may be that this is just a little bit of a mismatch here, because I mean, Ninja, his build was just fantastic. I mean, like he had the perfect 2-1 timing on it, just like upgrade timing alone, and he was at a great supply count. So, I mean, you can have these type of things here in the 2 more extreme leagues, the A or the tier 1 and tier 3. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that could definitely be what happened here this game, but we'll have to go ahead and see in game number 2, because I think MrLlama is running out of steam here. Yeah,
we got tanks pushing in. Ninja really hit his build. remember, this was not a gasless expand. He built 4 Marines in the beginning, he did a 12 gas, and he still maxed at 14 minutes and had 2-1. Like, you can't max faster than that, I don't think. So Ninjube really on top of his game here, and just too much lost on the first attack from MrLlama. I think the carrier switch is actually okay, but you can't lose your whole army.
Yeah, and MrLlama also really does love to make carriers, but he is still working on learning how to micro carrier with that really abusive, what do they call it? Diagonal carrier, by the Koreans call it, where they just constantly move them back and forth and, you know, don't never expose them. So it's not something that he is super well versed in. So we should see him improve quite a bit over this CPL season, because he does have some pretty solid fundamentals.
Yeah, we'll have to see in the next game. It's going to be tough for MrLlama, though, because Aztec, as we know, that's one of the best Terran maps. JK, it's one of the best Protoss maps.
Hey, MCA! It's been a long time since I've seen you in a Brood War chat, man. How's it going, dude? Welcome back.
Bad Hack is still in the chat.
1. Dude, I super miss the stupid Beastie Boys sound clip every time you would play a game on MCA launcher. Ah, that's so great.
I don't remember that, actually. I don't know.
Did you use
Polaris.
MCA launcher back in the day?
I think I might have used a little bit. I can't remember, to be honest. I used
Chaos
mostly,
launcher, probably?
Chaos launcher, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Terry. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Choose Blink. Welcome to the stream. Man, it's really cool to see people who are really new to Brood War in the chat, man. I really appreciate you guys showing up. I hope you're having a good time. Please check out the CPL. If you aren't on a team, but you kind of want to be, there have been mid-season ads and things like that. I know one of my casting partners, Bossross, got added like week 5 or something crazy. So, pretty cool. I would definitely recommend checking it out. And if you don't get in for this season, definitely get in next season, because CPL is just like the best place to learn how to play StarCraft Brood War. It's just such a great community, and you meet a lot of great people who play, and you get set up with like just the best coaches you can possibly ask for.
Yeah, and what I like about CPL is there's tiers where I hit people in ladder and they tell me that they hate it because either I'm way higher than they are and they feel like they can't find anybody their level. So with CPL, you have a tier, you start in a tier and you can work your way up. So if you start in tier 3, you're going to gradually increase your skill, then move on to tier 2. There's always going to be people for you to play. You don't have to go on ladder and feel like there's a huge mismatch where maybe you're way better than the opponent or the opponent is way better than you.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And that's kind of like half the fun of it too. Is it's not only that you're playing these tournament games where it's, you know, it's part of the actual CPL competition, but you just meet all kinds of cool people. Like I was dying. I needed Terran practice partners that were about my speed, and I just got put on a team with Nablime, who is fantastic, and we're actually quite a good match for each other. So just getting my network, you know, expanding my Brood War friends network has just been an absolutely fantastic way for me to improve. So not just the coaching.
Yep.
Oh man, Boss Ross taking shots.
Yeah, I see that.
Alrighty, dude. Well, we're gonna be going to Polaris Rhapsody as our second map. How do you feel about PVT rather on Polaris Rhapsody?
Don't like it.
God, you hate the whole
No.
map full, don't you?
Nah, well, the thing is that Protoss players, they just need to just play pretty defensive on here, like how DeWalt plays. If you play defensive on here, it's hard for Terran to punish Dragoon Observer, and you really have to play aggressive on here because there's no third gas for Terran to take. What are they gonna do? Take the mineral only?
Yeah,
It's not that great.
Yeah, and like I guess, you know, how are you taking the bottom left too is so far away from your main. It's like you really can't defend that very well without having a gigantic army. So I mean, I don't know. When can you even take the 4th base on this map? It sounds like it's pretty difficult because during all that, Protosses continue to expand, and I mean, look at the angles that you have to defend this with mech. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I think you expand vertically. You can get the mineral only. If you set up turrets there, at least it defends part of your main. It'll defend the fourth base, which has the gas, sort of. So that's the way I would expand. I don't know if there's a set path that pros use, but that's what I would do on top. Everything's more condensed that way. You don't have to worry about recall as much. But yeah, this map is really difficult getting to the corner base.
It sounds like a nightmare. Let's hope that Ninjube can find his way to another impressive 2-1 timing and crush his opponent once again. But I think this could definitely be Mr. Llama's map. I mean, it is a much more difficult map, I think, to play than Aztec. Despite Aztec being quite a difficult map to begin with as well. Anyways, starting in the top left-hand corner, spawning as the Yellow Terran, we have Ninjube.
And in the bottom right, we've got the Protoss player. It's Mr. Llama, and Mr. Llama, he's already up to no good. This is another thing that I don't like about this map, is there's so many places for proxy gate. Now we'll just have to wait and see where's Mr. Llama gonna put it. You can actually proxy gate in the Terran's base, and if you don't scout it, that's just a free win for the Terran, for the Protoss. So yeah, pretty dirty play from Mr. Llama here.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is a lot of people assume that this is like all in, but you can actually proxy as a Protoss player just one gate, and it's not really all in. You get a little bit of damage done, and you're pretty much all good. You can just go back to your base and play the game out normally. So I feel like this is a pretty good option, especially in the CPL, because a lot of people. So I think that cheese is really underrated in the CPL because it is a beginner tournament, so people are here to learn, quote unquote. So when you get really cheesy, people are like, this is supposed to be a beginner league. You weren't supposed to cheese me, but there's no rules in the CPL. You 100% are allowed to cheese your opponent. So I'm kind of a fan of cheese in this league because I like to win.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
my
look at
God.
Ninja with the 6 scout. This is one of the common places, of course. Bottom left, or mid left, I mean, is also another common place. In your main is a common place. I want to point out, if you ever get proxy gated in your main, every Terran player here should go into single player, pick Protoss, and then just mind control an SCV so you can get the Terran race. So you can get the Terran race, and then just figure out how many SCVs you need to pull to actually kill the gateway while it's building. I think when it's below 300 health, if you pull 5, you can actually kill the gateway before the zealot's out. But that's actually very important, because if you can kill the gateway without taking any damage, you're way ahead, because they're not only losing the gate, that means they can't have a cybernetics core. They pulled probes off to get this fast gate. It's actually really sick if you know all the timings for killing a gateway.
It does feel bad though. It's kind of like defending an 8-racks, how you have to pull the drones and snipe the Marines. But it does feel really bad to have that many probes not doing, not mining, not getting you ahead in the game economically. But they really do. It really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, and Ninja has a great setup with this depot and racks. Makes it difficult for the zealot to engage here.
Even being really annoying with the SCV. Ninjube is totally smurfing. What is going on here?
Yeah,
this guy is so good.
So this zealot actually got off one hit, and this SCV on the side is glitching the AI.
He's not
like
even
crazy.
taking hits.
What is this?
He's not even taking hits.
Ninja, I need you for NA team battle. What is this? I need more Terrans.
This is the sickest zealot defense I've ever seen. Oh my god. This SCV is ridiculous. So if you guys don't know what's going on here, the zealot actually can't run in between the depot and the barracks here because he's too chubby. So these Marines can just go back and forth here over and over and over again and juke out the zealot anytime he tries to come out and attack. But this is starting to go a little bit worse for Ninjube here. He's starting to run out of Marines here, and the Vulture isn't quite out yet. I think going for this machine shop was a little ambitious.
Yeah, it was a bit greedy, and this is when it gets scary, when there's 2 zealots and you can have a zealot on each side, because then where do your Marine? And Mr. Llama is able to do that now. Actually killed all the Marines. He's gonna kill how many? Oh, that SCV was on 1 hit.
Dude, he didn't
care.
even go.
Give me that Marine.
He didn't even go for a Vulture. He's going for a tank though.
Oh wow, that's
this
so
is
great,
like BM. This is like BM levels of greed.
This Zealot is dealing so much damage. I love how the Zealot just sniped that Marine, and then he just strutted off like, yeah, what up? Let me get in this SCV. Like, oh, well, look at that jab from the SCV. Just popped that Zealot.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, now we have a Zealot on a tank. The Zealot wins here.
This is so funny, dude. Ninjube, though, has been shown to have stellar micro here and easily deals with the Zealot. But this is actually kind of ridiculous. Like, that should have 100% been a Vulture like 10 years ago. Ninjube just styling on his opponent a little bit here, going for the tank. And now that the tank is out, this is like actually poses kind of a threat to Mr. Llama here.
Yeah, I'm quickly just looking at the probe count versus the SCV count. I think we have about 20-ish probes for Mr. Llama. Really nice production and econ going for him. Meanwhile, Ninjube, he's down to, I think, like 14 or 15, and 2 of the SCVs weren't even mining. Yet somehow Mr. Llama's going to kill this pylon to deny the gate. Oh, is this Dragoon going to get out? This could actually kill the tank. Oh my gosh, he's going to kill the tank.
Oh my god!
Me?
That's a huge deal. Oh my gosh. And Mr. Llama at home too has got 2 goon pumping. I mean, we've only got 1 factory, 1 barracks producing right now here. And no bunker or anything like that. This could actually get kind of dangerous here for Ninjube if he doesn't start mining his opponent a little bit with a little bit more respect.
It could get dicey for sure if you're playing an Ardo Protoss who's just gonna run their units through mines and stuff. I like Ninju's follow-up. He's got mines going. He scouted Protoss. He saw there's no robotics here. If you can lay mines, you know, if you're a smart Protoss, you're not gonna try running into them, right? So I like this follow-up. It'll give him map control for now. He'll be able to safely take his command center. But at the same time, Mr. Llama may just be really stubborn, just build a couple Zealots. As I say that, we have 1 Zealot coming out. If he can find all the mines and create an opening, look at what Ninjube has. He gets 1 tank to defend.
Yeah, I mean, this is simple, right? All you do is you Bisu micro these guys, and then you're good. That's all you gotta do.
And then you're good.
Just step forward, step back, snipe a mine. It's not like it's like one of the hardest things to do in the game. Definitely not. Or you could just send a Zealot. Just be like, whatever. Yeah.
And Mr. Llama's doing exactly what I said. We have 2 more Zealots in production. He really does want to punish it. It sounds really dumb, but it's actually not that dumb, because as a Protoss player, you know that this guy's on 1 factory. It's highly likely he expanded. That means you're not running into a 2 or 3 fact build. And if you can just clear the mines, look how many Dragoons he has. He has 6 Dragoons. At most, it's probably going to be 3 tanks. So this is pretty good for Mr. Llama if he can clear out the mines. If he can't clear out the mines, then he's going to lose a ton of Dragoons, and it's going to go horribly for him.
Alrighty, well, natural expansion is down now, but Mr. Llama not really getting too crazy.
I see he's got a robotics here. I'm actually surprised he hasn't sent these Zealots out. I felt like that's why he was building them.
Yeah, just to tank the mines.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, well, now he's got to probably be going for a shuttle bomb, but we still don't have an observer out. So I'm curious how these Dragoons will actually get across the map.
Well, I'm just curious what this Robo's going to do. I guess he's making a shuttle?
Yeah, the shuttle's almost done, but I'm trying to find where the observatory is. There's no observer. This is so weird to me. There's no observer. Mr. Llama on the right and mid right or bottom right of his base, or top, I don't know where it is, mid right, we have Templar Archive.
Yeah. Very strange, right? So
yeah, like he's giving up so much map control to Terran. If Terran knew this, that you don't have an observer, they would just probably take the mineral only off of what we have right now, because you know Protoss is probably not going to attack you.
Yeah, it's interesting that we talk about this, because we did talk, I believe it was last cast, about how you should get an observer, you know, like we're just generally important unit, right? So I'm not sure what, it looks like we didn't take away a lesson from that last cast. But, you know, again, I've gone over a couple times that Llama's really not a build order guy. He has a general idea of what he's trying to do in each matchup, and then he just kind of forces a bunch of units out by, you know, constantly hitting his pro production and his gateway production. So again, this is kind of one of those things that he really does need to work on, and this is preseason, so he hasn't had any coaching yet from his CPL coach. So I'm sure we're gonna see these builds getting cleaned up in a little while.
He's the type of Protoss that Artosis adores. And I like Ninjub's follow-up. We've got a bunch of tanks, we got a bunch of vultures, he's playing defensive, we have turrets going up. That's exactly what you need to do, because Mr. Llama, he's a dirtbag, man. He's going for that DT drop. And that's one of Terran's biggest nightmares. DT drop or Arbiter recall, the two banes of every Terran.
Yeah, and Ninja didn't see the shuttle. Like, he just barely missed it with the vultures here at the 6 o'clock.
It's just barely out of vision. Is it?
It moves! Oh my god! And it's gonna get in. There's no turrets in the main. There's like 2 tanks up here, but they're quite far away from the production. This is gonna potentially do a whole bunch of damage. There's 2 zealots and 2 DTs in here.
He has 2 scans, but look, all of his tanks are siege. He's not gonna be able to instant react. It's actually gonna take a while. He's gonna pick off the scanner immediately.
Oh my gosh, this is dirty.
He's unloading everything. So now we have 1 scan left. We're almost at 2 scans, but look at how slow the reaction is. This is down. And now he really just needs to split these DTs up. Yeah, this is exactly what he's doing. 1 in the front, 1 in the back.
Yeah. This is great. Oh, but, okay, first DT gets sacrificed to a bit of turret detection. I think one thing that people don't understand is that, like, when you've only got 1 scan to work with, the DTs can just run away from your units for a while when you're scanning, and once the scan is gone, just head right back into harass. But unfortunately, Llama's control here wasn't stellar, so it doesn't get that much done. But overall, yeah, he didn't really get enough done here. I think this is a net loss for Llama.
I would have really loved it if Mr. Llama had have attacked into the net as soon as he saw the units pulled, because I think we only had 3 or 4 tanks there, and look at Mr. Llama's army. He definitely could have broken in there, but because of these mines that he never cleared actually kept him in his base this whole time. So these mines are paying huge dividends for Ninjube, and actually this mid-right vulture that's been sitting here has denied 2 probes. Everything's going well for Ninjube this game, and even he only used 1 scan to get rid of both of those DTs.
Yeah, I would have even liked the DT, like, so he had 2 DTs. I would have liked him to drop 1 and just camped it in the very bottom left of the Terran main, and then left the other DT harassing here. So you force a scan. You got the first comm set, right? So you force a scan here, it wears off, and then your other DT is down here, and you bring them on up, and you continue to do more damage, because, you know, you have to continue to waste those scans over and over and again to be able to clean that up. So I feel like that could have definitely been executed a little bit better, but honestly, my real problem is that he's about to be a base behind the Terran player here, or I guess he's getting his own base up here now, but I mean, he's going to be on base parity against a Terran, and that's never somewhere you want to be, especially against a player as incredibly powerful as Ninja, because I mean, he's shown he's so good at hitting that 2-1 timing. His macro is fantastic. He's like the scary guy that you don't want to make mistakes in and not get your drop doing any damage.
Yeah, got the drop. Very nice from Mr. Llama. So that got shut down easily. Now Mr. Llama taking his 3rd base, almost done. And I want to point out something else with the DTs is when you use your scans like that, you don't know if the Protoss is going to build more DTs. So it's not like, oh, I killed the DTs, I'm going to insta-counter now. If you don't have any scans built up, you're not going to attack. So yeah, I agree with splitting it, not just for the main, but it also has other implications too.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Until you have a vessel on the field, you really can't feel safe out on the map.
Yeah, actually, that's the main reason I go DT carriers. At some point, Terran will run out of scans. They can't attack forever, and then by the time they actually do have, like, you know, energy built up or vessel, maybe I got carriers out, and then they just lose. Love Protoss.
It's a sick strategy.
Yeah.
Why do you play Terran? Why do you do this to yourself?
Oh, well, I do it because I know how Terran thinks, and I know what Terran hates. So that's why I do it.
That's terrible.
Play easy mode. But
alrighty.
Anyways, we got Ninju moving across the map, and actually his tanks are a little out of position. A couple getting picked off. And actually, Mr. Llama's
What?
pretty high in supply.
Armies
What is
just
this?
walking past each other.
Yeah. This is not good for Terran. You don't want to base... Oh, wow, look at this rat! Oh, the mine!
Dude, the army can't get across! This is actually amazing!
Oh my god.
This-
Ninja the genius!
This is
Look
Gosu!
at it!
Oh my god, what is this? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. And now he's gonna actually probably have enough mines and tanks to defend most of it?
This is what you gotta,
Wow.
you gotta add this to your repertoire, Nyoken.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal this, Ninjube, but at the same time, Ninjube is kind of focused on this attack. He's actually not a counter attack. Okay, now he is, but Nat is under attack. Third base is under attack. There's actually a lot of zealots here. Oh, Vulture's getting caught too.
Oh man, yeah, Llama actually not in a terrible position. Unfortunately, his tanks weren't quite as proactive as they needed to be in the natural
there's the
expansion.
DT again.
Oh man, tanks getting taken out, and
Oh.
Ninja GG's! Wow! Llama coming back after a very uninspiring game number 1 versus his opponent, and wow, just taking him apart in this base trade here.
Oh man, after that Rax, I was like, wow, Ninjube's gonna hold this and he's gonna kill the Nat. But in general, you don't really want to base trade a Protoss because they can just spam out DTs or they can spam out more units than you, and on top of it, you can't reinforce, and you really need support on those tanks. So kind of a weird move, to be honest. But worked out for Mr. Llama. I don't even know if he was getting attacked. He's just like, it's go time.
Oh man. Yeah, that was a very interesting conclusion to a game that I thought Ninja kind of had in the bag. Not gonna lie. But we're gonna have to go and get on Circuit Breaker and see what happens in game number 3.
Finally, a real map for my Terran player. What a great map Circuit Breaker is. I love that Blizzard left Circuit Breaker and Fighting Spirit in every ladder. That's nice.
Well, yeah.
'Cause some of these maps, I'm like, what the hell are you thinking? Like Heartbreak Ridge, please.
Yeah, it's a solid base. I think that Blizzard realizes that you need to have a very solid base of maps that you can constantly play on. Sometimes I think there's maybe one too many of these funky maps where you just don't have quite enough vetoes to get rid of everything that you really just don't want to play on. But overall, I mean, like, almost everybody has a couple of maps vetoed, but almost nobody has Fighting Spirit or Circuit Breaker vetoed. So even with the veto system in place, you're almost always playing on these two maps anyways. So I don't know. I really enjoy StarCraft at its the most when it's played on these.
Yep. I love standard games, so looking forward to this. Maybe Mr. Llama can pull it out, but I, of course, want to see Ninjube hit this 2-1 14-minute max.
Yeah, that was pretty sick seeing him, how impressive his timing was at that 13:30-2-1 timing from game number 1. But we're going to go ahead and get on into this final game, Ninju versus MrLlamaSC. I just want to give a quick shout out to Nyoken, though. Nyoken, not quite a busy man, going to be doing a lot of casting over... Well, I mean, you've just been doing as much casting as you can pretty much get away with here. But I just want to say thanks for coming out, man, and doing the CPL cast with me. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for having me. You know, I asked you if I could cast with you, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, DocHoliday, get me on the big screen. I need some CPL in my life, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
And
well,
looking forward to this.
I'm sure all of our Terran players especially are grateful, getting all the great insight from you. But if you guys don't play Terran and are looking for a go-to coach to help your game out, maybe you should consider joining the CPL, getting on a team, getting one of the best players in NA or EU to help you kind of bring your game to the next level. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and game number 3, the exciting conclusion of Mr. Llama versus Ninjube. He's a sneaky casting coach. I like that. Nyoken's just like every Terran's coach in the CPL. Dude, what is going on with my UI? I have to, like, enable everything every time I get in the game. Anyways, guys, in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning as the orange Terran, an absolutely terrifying macro monster, we have Ninjube.
And in the bottom, or in the top right, we got this dirty Protoss player who likes the proxy gate, then follow it up with DT drop, It's Mr. Llama.
God, Mr. Llama's so dirty too, because he doesn't even practice Brood War. Alright, he's too busy with his damn Diablo 2, picking up wind forces and shit, man. Running around freaking speedrunning. This guy plays Diablo 2 full time. Also works in IT. This is just the side hoe for him.
Who needs to actually practice when you just rally zealots and hit that K button, though? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
You have to. Oh, but let's be fair though. Ninjube with that SCV in Marine Micro versus the zealots was pretty damn sick.
He went for the tank with proxy zealots rallying into his base, and he still survived. Are you kidding me right now?
What a legend!
Oh my
what
god!
A legend. Oh, so what are we looking at here? I'm gonna be curious to see if Ninja will go for gasless, and it's gonna be gasless. We have the SCV going. Oh, it's not. This is interesting because kind of when you wall off in this position, it's kind of weird. Actually, this is how I wall when I get this position, but the way you wall it is you put the depot to the right, obviously, and then you put the factory on the left. But it's kind of like all jacked up. I don't know how else to word it.
That's all right. I think that we'll get a demonstration of how this wall works here. Well, I don't know. I mean, Llama, outside of that proxy, he's not like the cheesiest player ever. I don't know. Do you think he's gonna go for a zealot? I would not recommend it on CB. The rust distance is just so long.
I mean, you can. A lot of people just rally it to me. Even just rallying one zealot is so difficult to deal with, and it doesn't really mess up your Dragoon timing. Maybe your Dragoon timing is off by like 5 seconds. Kind of negligible. And then if the zealot does a lot of damage, potentially you get into the Terran base. They don't even have, you know, any Marines possibly. Look at this probe harass. Mr. Llama dealing a lot of damage. But I like how Ninja actually was scouting bottom or mid right, I guess, to see if there was some hidden stuff. After the last game, I would definitely be scouting everywhere versus Mr. Llama, because he's up to some no good in these games.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I wouldn't put it past the Protoss to do anything. That's the thing. That's the real problem with Protoss players, is that so much of Protoss play in both matchups is the subterfuge, right? Like the mental game, like all the proxies and the shenanigans and all the crap that they can get away with. Like that's like half of what it is to play Protoss, is just to be a dirty person. So
yeah, when
you're playing against Protoss, why not take a little time to be safe? I'm okay with it.
So I'm looking at.
Speaking of dirty,
Ninja. Yes. This is hella risky because, well, for one, it's a 2-fact build, which means you have to deal damage. But on top of it, now it's literally across the entire map. When this gets scouted,
oh my god!
It will.
The goon is gonna come find it before he even finishes.
What? What?
Oh my god! Wait, is he? Oh, he's going back. Oh my gosh! They insta cancel. Is this that common? Is it that common that Llama?
I literally never see this. What I was gonna say was, when it gets scouted, meaning after the vultures are in your base.
Oh my gosh!
What I meant was the vultures will get shut down eventually, and then you have to float your factory all the way back. The Dragoons are probably gonna kill it before it gets back. Oh my! I can't even believe he scouted for that. Who scouts for that?
Dude, this isn't the CPL. Dude, it's been Black Sheep Wall all night, dude. This is ridiculous.
Look at Ad Hackish in the chat. He knows a hack when he sees it. I believe him.
This is the cheating program league, man. This is just... There's no way that this is legit. Bunch of hackers in this league.
Oh my gosh, but look at these 2 Dragoons. Oh wow. Bunker barely got up. I thought he was going to lose all of his Marines here because the bunker wasn't going to get up in time, but lucky for him, it does go up. Nothing to repair, though. He's got to be kind of worried, but tank is out. Oh, don't go too far forward.
Well, I mean, these guys have taken a lot of shield damage, so it would be pretty risky to try to jump on this tank with the bunker still standing.
Yeah, but there's only 2 Marines. Of course, it is risky, but... Oh, no!
And we're talking about Ninjube here.
What?
The Gosu... Oh my gosh, he didn't repair!
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's
Now
a
he can
big
just-
deal.
Now he can micro these Dragoons for days. They outrange the Marine. No!
Yeah, that was a pretty big loss right there.
Now the tank is... Well, I guess it wouldn't
First
really
tank
matter.
still... Oh my gosh, no!
Oh, now it matters.
Okay, yeah, you can't give away... Guys, okay, so if you're a new Protoss player, don't give away Dragoons. Dragoons are, like, super precious. Like, tank level precious for for Protoss. And giving them away early game is really gonna take away from your ability to keep Terran in his base.
Yeah, Dragoons are just so strong. Even in low numbers. Before you start two-shotting vultures, start
Oh no.
two-shotting tanks.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, a lot of damage.
Llama!
Oh, there's another one.
No! This
But
is...
Ninjube is just following up with a very fast armory again. Great style. That's really just the modern play these days. And actually, we see a lot of one-fact builds, even faster rushes to armories instead of the 6:30 timing that we were seeing for a long time. This armory was actually a 5-minute armory. That's insanely fast. So he'll be rushing those 2-1 upgrades. And a lot of the times when you see Flash do this build, he actually just kind of camps, waits for Protoss to make a move. And by the time Protoss makes a move, then Flash has 3-2, and that makes this build even more deadly.
Alrighty, well, Robo just about to finish up for MrLlamaSC and taking a very fast third in the top left-hand corner. Trying to be a little sneaky boy. But Ninjube has been scouting a significant amount over the map here, checking all kinds of different bases here. I wonder if this Vulture's going to make its way up to the top left and find himself a base.
Yeah, he might. I think if I was him, I would probably leave it where he is right now, because it's likely that he's going to take the mineral and then top middle, or if he's going to take mid right. This top left base, I actually don't expect to get scouted. If he does, that'd be great, but I don't expect it. Yeah, he's just sitting in the mineral only, so he has no idea. If Mr. Llama can get this going, his econ's going to be going absolutely bananas.
And then we go for 4-star get carrier, baby.
Yeah, 4-star kick carrier. And then it's always the worst because Terran's scanning and he doesn't see a third base. And that makes you think, oh, he's, you know, shuttle bombing me or gateway manning me or something like that. And you see Ninjube, he's responding appropriately. He's putting down a lot of factories because when it's 2 base versus 2 base as Terran, you just have to not die. But we have this hidden base at top left, and if it goes unscouted and Mr. Llama is running it for several minutes, that's going to be terrible for Ninjube. It's the worst feeling where you feel like you're winning, and then you actually haven't been winning the entire game. Oh, this Vulture. I guess
he's going to see it.
Hey, I guess I should scout the rest of the map, and that was a very nice and smart play from him.
Well, but he doesn't see it because the Vulture gets turned away by the pathing.
Oh my, are you kidding me?
He might know, though. Ninjube has proven himself to be quite a knowledgeable and skilled player. He might have noticed that his Vulture didn't go up to the top left-hand corner. So, I mean, I could see him being, you know, reasonably certain there's a base there.
He doesn't. He moved it forward. I also wouldn't have thought that if I clicked to go top left and then I didn't... Of course, I'm not watching the Vulture, you know, super closely, but I poked up and nothing was there. I wouldn't think anything of it. Oh my gosh, this is so unfortunate, but...
See, but that's exactly the opposite of how I feel, because I always have, like, drones get stuck on, like, solid walls, or, like, Zerglings who, like, went to scout, get stuck on solid walls and just turn around when they get to the bottom of the ramp here. So I usually, at least, I figure out that there's a base up there. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm not quite as ghosty as you guys here. So I read a little too far into a bunch of stuff.
Well, I mean, you're right, but I don't know. I'm not in this situation now, and I'm kind of just forgetting. But, okay, is he sending it back? Looks like he is. No, he's not. Oh, I'm so sad right now.
But, I mean, he's sending a contingent of Vultures up here. I mean, so he has to know, right? He's got to know.
I don't think he knows.
Why are all these Vultures up here? I guess they're going to go for the Vulture run by?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think they're going to go to the top middle.
Oh, man, they so are. Dude, you're so right. He still doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't
I was
see
inspired. Oh, but dude, the probe transfer is gonna get
Is
caught.
Oh my gosh, I turned off the vision for a second. Oh my god. Okay, this is what Ninja needed. Oh, Mr. Llama, don't transfer this late in the game.
No!
Now he knows for sure. And I was like, what the hell?
What if he just doesn't realize? Oh no, that's the micro. Okay. Now he's gotta know that there's a base up there.
Yeah, he knows for sure now. I mean, Ninja is... Let's look at the supplies, 110 to 105. He's in a fine spot, but it's just always worrisome. Because sometimes, it's kind of like when we saw with the cannons earlier with the Protoss vs. Zerg, where Dreamer built 4 cannons and nothing came. Where if you start overreacting, then you're just going to get outscaled. That's mostly what I'm worried about for Ninja.
Ninja realizing the situation though, plopping down his 4th base here. I mean, this is a lot of bases for a Terran player to be on, and not having an army to really be able to stop this is going to put Llama in kind of a funky spot. We have 2 Stargates now, looking like we're probably going to be going for Arbiter, because we're getting Templar Archives as well.
Yeah, going to be Arbiter play. I like Arbiters on here.
Especially against a 4 base Terran player? Yeah, it's going to be hard to defend against all these bases.
And in general versus upgrade Terran, carriers are just not the greatest. Well, they're fine if you're upgrading, but we don't see Mr. Llama going for upgrades. You do not want to face upgraded Terran with non-upgraded carriers. That's going to go horribly wrong for you. So I like this choice from Mr. Llama. Now he's taking his mineral only. His econ's really kicking in now. We see him banking a lot. We see a decent amount of gates. We'd really like to see a lot of gates go to top left too.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see this quite enough. I know Refugee Protoss isn't exactly like something that people play anymore, but I really like the idea of just spreading your production out. So when you get a base taken out by a Terran player, once they've gotten to that 2-1 timing, and you know, like you're not losing everything because you have units that can sweep around from behind while you're and help you defend your bases wherever the Terran's attacking. But it seems to be a lot less popular for Protoss players to start establishing macro base or large macro farms at different bases here, or at least in my experience.
And this drop that Mr. Llama's doing was quite interesting. We got a 4 Zealot drop. Instantly gets cleaned up, so nice response from Ninja.
Oof.
And yeah, we got the Arbiters just starting now. Mr. Llama's upgrades, he's got 1-1, that's good. 2-2 is actually pretty good versus Terran's 2-1, but he's going to have to buy some time to get that because Ninja is looking to attack probably within a minute or so.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 150 supply. Typically, you see a Terran move at around like 175 when the 2-1 kicks in.
Yeah, 175 or max, it depends just on build order. If it's a 12 gas, you know, maybe your supply's a little lower compared to a gasless, but he'll be going very soon. 2-1's got to be close.
Two
+2
attack is
at
about
least
to finish. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to trigger the go signal because +2 is just so strong versus Protoss.
And that's because tanks are constantly two-shotting Dragoons, is it?
It's actually hard to give you the exact reason why +2 is strong versus gateway units because there's so much splash going on. You can't really pinpoint, but it's mostly because the Zealots get so low that they just start getting one-shotted by anything else. And then when you have +3, even if it's hard to explain, but like +3 is just absolutely crazy because literally just any amount of damage, like 5 damage, will start getting killing blows on the Zealots, and the Zealots are really what make the Protoss army strong just because of how tanky they are.
Yeah, it's just that meat. Once you run out of Zealots, it's time to back up, basically, when it comes to engagements for Protoss.
Yeah,
Oh my
Ninja
God.
is moving out now. His army is massive, and he has got +2.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful, though. Mr. Llama has a good flank like he had on Aztec, but he needs to send... Oh, actually, he doesn't have all his army here. What?
Oh no! An army now streaming across the map from the main base here. Half the army engaging the full might of the Terran maxed out army, and this goes terrible. Mr. Llama already down 20 supply so far in this engagement, and it's only gonna drop.
Yeah, not only was half his gateway unit's not there. His armor was all group, and it gets instant
EMP'd. Oh
Ninja doesn't
no!
have to siege now. He can just go.
Ninja, never one to skimp on the styling. We're just gonna A move across the map now.
Oh my
I feel
gosh.
like if tanks could teabag, Ninja would totally do it. Right? Like, can you imagine? He's totally the kind of player who would teabag you with his tanks.
Oh man, look at the supply for Mr. Llama. It just went
Just
down
plummeted.
to 120 instantly. Ninja, his supply barely even moved. We're still at 180, and now this is the point in the game where after there's a big fight like that, Terran just does what they want. They're just like, I'm gonna kill this base, and I'm gonna kill that one. But at least Arbiters are out. I don't see a vessel anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a vessel, though, because he definitely hit an EMP. But we do have an okay stasis here at the back. But there's just, I mean, even if he had 2 more stasises, there's so many units here for Ninja in comparison to the army here that Mr. Llama has left. It's just, there's nothing to really do here.
Yeah, he needs, like, money stasises or something to just make this Terran army not so scary. There's no way he can fight it with his gateway army right now. He's got a bunch of gates at top left. That's exactly what you need to do, but Ninja is just so big, and now he's sharking around to the left side, meanwhile setting up a big minefield on the right. That's exactly what you want to do as Terran. Force the Protoss to run into mines like that.
Oh my gosh! Taking tons of casualties trying to get across this map here.
Yeah, maxed out army versus 150 Protoss. Doesn't really even have a lot of stasis yet. Mr. Llama's decided that he needs to counterattack. I think this is an okay move because he can't stop the Terran army. That's not happening.
Yeah, absolutely no way. But I mean, even the army that gets it across here is just gonna run into reinforcements. He's got like what, like 3 goons left on the counterattack here, because they just ran into a bajillion mines.
There's nothing here for Mr. Llama. And look at Ninja. Not only is he attacking, he's taking bases at the same time. What a monster!
This guy is so scary.
How did he get in here?
I know, dude.
Is he a
Ninjoob
coach?
should be a coach. What's going on here? We need to contact some admins. This guy's ridiculously good.
Yeah, he's just literally just going wherever he wants, just killing whatever he wants, and taking all the bases. He's banking so much money. Trying to check. We got +3 weapon now. Oh, this is ugly for Mr. Llama. Mr. Llama does have quite a bank, but Ninja's bank is even bigger.
Yeah, I feel bad. I don't know if Llama even knows how far behind he is right now, because he hasn't been on his opponent's side of the map for so long. It's like he doesn't even know how many bases are up right now.
These stasis are pretty massive. It's just
There's no units.
we don't have any units. Like, this is basically as good of a 2 stasis as you could possibly get.
Dude, look at this, just like gang of zealots coming across here,
Yeah.
though. They're gonna run into four non-speed vultures.
Oh my god.
Look at those mines. Mines are so soggy. Are you kidding me?
You know that mines are 100 on 100? And it's a one-time investment. You
Yeah.
know that?
Yeah, I did know that. I'm very familiar with mines. Thank you, Nyoken.
I think that's a good investment.
I'm like a PTSD survivor over here. For
Oh,
every time
man.
anyone says mines, it's just like, oh, no, don't, not again.
Yeah, well, as a Terran player, they suck to play against, because now Terrans use it in Terran versus Terran.
Oh wow, all the
Like,
vultures.
Yeah, but Mr. Llama needs more than that. Oh my god, Stasis is again amazing. It's just,
Dude, there's like 3
nothing
tanks
here.
over there. You could walk and go kill
Yeah.
that with that giant army at the natural.
Yeah, he can kill that
Llama,
army, but look
go.
at Ninja's base. We're on like 11 factory or something. Macro is out of control.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Llama killed 3 bases, Ninja would still be just in a fine position here. I'm actually very worried though that Llama just continues to make zealots. I'm not really sure what that's about. He's got plenty of gas to be making non-zealot unit, or he used to, but he just continues to waste money on zealots.
He just built like 12 Templar, so he is getting Storm. That's what he needs. If he can get storms like what we just saw in those stasis, they won't just be frozen units. Those units will die, but he's gonna have to have the best storms ever to win these fights.
I mean, if there was a mechanic that is going to get you back in the game, it's something like splash damage, where you can just get like incredible cost efficiency that your like army definitely didn't deserve. But I mean, I don't know. Ninjube is just not. He doesn't seem like he's going to be the type of player to be vulnerable to such an astounding level of comebacking.
And now Ninjo is maxed. That's going to be go time again for him. We just have to see where he wants to go. Yeah, I think he should just fight the army. Just wipe it. His army is so massive. He's got EMP.
I mean, you don't even really need EMP. Look at this huge spread.
His army's so strong. On top of it, remember, we've got a few units at top left that's not in this army. And then look how many Templar there are. There's 12 Templar.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's time for Archons. Archon drops. Let's do it. It's the only way in the game.
Ninjube is not gonna wait for that to happen. He wants to go, and this is a good timing for him. The Templars are kind of just standing here. I'm waiting for an EMP to hit everything.
Dude, this Templar is just like running away from SCVs here in the bottom right. Just getting bullied around by these Gundams.
Look at Llama's Nat. Look at all these units clumped. He would hit 10 Templar. He'd hit the Harbinger. All in one EMP. Oh my god. And he'd even hit an Archon right now.
It's gonna happen. Let's see. Dude, watch it happen.
I'm waiting. Please. He's got the energy. He's sharking around to top left. So it looks like his attention is not there yet. But oh my god, I really want to see this EMP just decimate everything. Oh, a recall went off somewhere.
Bottom right.
Bottom right. Unfortunately,
I'm waiting for the EMP though. Come on.
Oh.
Oh, 6 stasis.
But there's just
and a storm. But there's like 3 units there because. Oh my gosh. And Ninja, like now also attacking the top left as well. So, there's just like these 4 Templar down here in the bottom right that came with the recall that can't do anything because there's no SCVs there. Can't storm buildings, folks.
That's hilarious. But this looks like possibly the end for Mr. Llama. Top left is dying.
Yeah.
The Nat is already mined out. We can't even kill the units when half of them are stasis. Oh.
What I think is kind of hilarious too is that like these Templar would have been way more useful on the defense here, so he kind of like trolled himself with his own recall.
Yeah, that was actually pretty hilarious. I didn't think that half of his recall would be Templar. Look how many Templar he still has.
There's 3 Archon now in the bottom right. Just oh man, he's fighting real hard, but Ninjube is just, I think, a little bit out of his league. I think Ninjube, I would have to imagine, is close to the upper limit of the skill level of CPL A level players, and he's just showing that he's quite the Terran player here. And this is before getting coached this season, so
damn,
this guy is gonna be a monster. He's gonna be like ready to be a coach next season.
Maybe he's the next Nablime. Dude,
Nablime. I'm the next Nablime, bro.
Oh, you're the next Nablime?
Nablime's on my team. I better be. I'm gonna ask him his secrets.
Yeah, you should. Based on what you guys are telling me, sounds like he increased his skill drastically.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do.
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to the fact that he was willing to put in the work. He's social, so he talked to a lot of the CPL players and, increased his network, got a whole bunch of people to practice against, worked with his coaches very closely, and had a positive attitude and was willing to, grind the games out and continue to push forward even when he hit walls. So, I mean, that's all you really need in the end to become a good StarCraft player. And I mean, he definitely had that, so. Oh my god, these Archons actually kind of doing work here at the third.
Yeah, but their Archons, Vultures deal full damage. See ya, Archon. Yeah, GG. Just nothing left from Mr. Llama.
Yeah, well, definitely a admirable admirable attempt at bringing himself back into this series. You know, I mean, he did take a game off of this guy, Ninjube, and this guy is pretty damn scary.
He hit everything that you need to hit as Terran. I loved his build on Aztec. I loved his build on Circuit Breaker. Remember, he took a lot of damage to those Dragoons in the beginning, and he still hit his build.
Yeah.
So nice play from him. And then Mr. Llama, it wasn't like his build was bad. His build was pretty good too. It's just, again, like the first game, half of his units were at his nut, and he attacked with the other half. Oh man, it definitely could have gone completely different if everything was synced up.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we are casting the CPL for you guys tonight. This is the CPL preseason tournament, so not the main season. These guys have been given their teams now, but this is before any of that happened. But the Coach People League is a pretty great way for you guys to get into Brood War. So if any of you guys out there have been thinking about trying Brood War out, trying to find some people to help you out, get into the game, get that knowledge, this is the basically the best place to learn Brood War right now. Check out the Team Liquid thread. Check out the Discord. There's a lot of great people that'll be willing to help you out. The season has already started a little bit, but our admins do have a wait list. So if you'd like to get on a team for this season, it is possible. I know Boss Ross, one of my co-casters, got onto a team like 5 weeks into the CPL or something like that and had a great time. So please check out the CPL if you guys are interested in Brood at all. I do want to throw a quick shout out to Artosis, dude. Thank you so much for the gigantic host and getting us a bunch of viewership for this tournament. Really, really appreciate it. And of course, a shout out to Nyoken. Check this guy out on Twitch if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know why you came to my stream if you don't know who Nyoken is, but this guy's an absolute legend. He's out there doing his own content. He's been casting all kinds of different tournaments. He streams pretty regularly as well.